Your body drive me crazy. Your body need a license fit. Your body are too tight and neat. Anybody who got eyes can't see. She just wanna dance and tease. She just wanna dance and tease. For my money, there was no money, no one there run me. So give me a run for my money. Feeling lovely, feeling lovely, living lovely, just lovely. I wanna be with you, ay. I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you, ay. I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. Me just love me. If I didn't ride blade on curve, would you still? If I'm in my mind at work, would you still? Keep it 100, I'd rather you trust me than to. Keep it a whole 100, don't got you, I got nothing. I got something. Hold up, we gon' function.
Young and fine and dark and handsome, the boy from South Detroit came on singing. I can't keep my panties from dropping. He's so fly. So fast to hurt yourself. I can't keep up with all the lies you tell yourself. You kinda cute, but way too much to play yourself. I'm not the one, but we can still pretend this can't be my man. You say you feel different when you with me, tell me anything. Compliment my energy, it's different laying next to me. All I ask is don't make me pull up and get the dope. You know I can't get no fucks. You know with all the rugged have you. Young and fine and dark and handsome, the boy west side of Compton came walking in. I can't keep my panties from dropping. He's so fly. Ooh, he bossy, ooh, he quit walking to me, just lost, and then he slapped me on the way that I got no problem. He get too bad, and he got all that action, go and mishandle it. You know I'm hella different from them chickens you've been tricking on. Can be a ride or die, get thuggish, rugged, bold. Looking boy, I'm good in every hood. Trick it, fend up, rolling backwards. Just trying to show you what it would be like if you my man. Young and fine and dark and handsome, the boy from South of somewhere came walking in. I can't keep my panties from dropping. He's so fly. Money fast, tryna make it last. Money fast, tryna make it last. Ecstasy is just a pill away. Wrap it up or you can screw today. I'm just tryna hear you say my name. Let her play a role or be a Jane. You could be my toss and toss me up. Other hoes is lacking, call me up. Put my baby back and why I'm stuck. That's why he my man. Young and he fine and he tall and he handsome. Run fast from a day job, running fast from the way it was. Jump quick to a paycheck, running back to the strip club. I'm never going back, never going back. No, you can't make me. Never going back, never going back. They never take me. I've been enough of petty dudes. I've had enough of shitty news. I had a thing for dirty shoes since I was 10. Love dirty men alike. Ooh, better day than yesterday. Ooh, I just take it day by day. Ooh, never hearing what they say. Ooh, I just do it my way. All I got is these broken clocks. I ain't got no time, just burning daylight.
Finally feel so refreshed. That's what I love about going to this class, is that they have a spot for me to shower, do my makeup, do my hair. So I did block out time to work at the cafe, so I'm gonna take you guys with me. I have so much work to get done for this restock. Lately my daughter's been sick, so she's been so clingy, so that's why I made sure that I woke up and got ready for this class today. You're gonna see why I love coming here to get my reset and also get work done.
Around, and I know you got it out. I can pretend you was my main nigga, bet you love this how I feel. Out of my way, you out of pocket, need BBs. Boy, you can't touch the scissor when you near me. Put myself caught in your crossfire. You are one, and I'm waiting in you like it's cool. Water like it's cool when you pull up with a new. I miss my I know this. It was inside me. They recognize you. Please don't deny me.
When I'm sitting here alone, I love myself.
I don't mean to be bold, but I gotta let it go. Praying for you, and I just say, I don't mean to be bold, but I gotta let it go. Praying for you, and I just say, I don't mean to be bold, but I gotta let it go. Praying for you, and I just say, I don't mean to be bold.
This looks good.
Cause you ain't never talking loud and you know plenty. You know what I'm talking about, cause you just get me. Yeah, you so pretty. If everything is dipped in gold, then baby it will never grow. Everything sweet ain't sugar coated. What a lie. What a lie.
Right? And then after I fell off, we wanted carbs, and then we started eating out more, and then we stopped tracking our foods. That's one thing. It works for me. I don't know why when I get used to something, I end up getting comfortable and then not going forward with what actually worked for me. And I realize that now. So when it comes to the app where I track things, I'm trying to make sure that I do it every day. No matter what, even if it comes to the end of the day where I'm in my bed, I'm going to take out my laptop, I'm going to log all the foods that I ate. So that seems to work for me because I get to see what my habits are.
So basically, just to answer your question, keto diet is one of those diets that will be hard to sustain on the long term.
Exactly.
Especially if you are looking for a lifestyle change, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to make it a lifestyle, keto is one of those diets that they don't know the long-term benefits, and it might have some side effects later on because it's basically you're not getting any carbs in, and you're someone who is very active and you need your carbs to fuel your energy. The carbs are not of course not any types of carbs. I'm not talking about the sugar, I'm not talking about like sweets and so on. And I'm going to explain all of this very soon. We're talking about the high fiber carb, the ones that are very important to your gut, that will give you a lot of vitamins, that will not affect your hair, since you are into the hair business. So
exactly,
there's a lot of vitamins in the fiber and in the carb that if you don't take enough carb, it's going to affect you on the long term. And I've seen a lot of clients who do low carb or no carb, high protein, or even keto, they will end up having low energy, mood swings. They will have hair loss. They will have some deficiencies in some of their vitamins. So this is why I wanted to get to know more about your previous experience, because you don't want to repeat that. You don't want to be on a diet, stop, because it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Being very honest with you. Keto diet is one of those diets that you cannot sustain all your life, because carbohydrate, other than they're tempting, but I'm not saying you want to eat a lot. You just want to eat the right quality of the carbohydrate that are fiber.
Exactly.
And you can lose weight, because you can lose weight when you are on a balanced meal plan where the portion sizes are controlled, right? So it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Let's eat all the carbs or do not eat any carb, right? If you can find this balance
Right.
where you can sustain it with a portion control, total amount of calories, that will help you lose weight, right? So this is what can help you reach a better lifestyle instead of being always on those two extremes. Being on keto for some time and then you stop, and then it will change everything. Maybe your weight will start increasing again. So I don't know, what do you think of this?
So exactly what you said. I forgot that back then, because it was so long ago, during COVID times, the reason why we did stop is because we read and researched more. I didn't experience hair loss, but I knew that that would be the outcome. And I'm in the hair business, like you said. So I was not trying to lose any hair. I wasn't trying to get to that point where I would lose hair. So that's why we stopped doing keto, and then we stopped tracking everything. So I'm happy that you touched that point. I didn't want to risk losing hair.
Definitely. So if you're okay with that, I'm going now to start to ask you just a couple of more questions and then to share with you some resources. And if you're happy to make some small changes, I'm not going to say you're going to consume a lot of carbs, because I know that we might not always feel comfortable with that, but at least introduce the fibers that will keep your gut happy, so you're able to have proper digestion, but also give you those vitamins that are necessary for your health and to keep the hair and to keep the energy, because with time, because remember, Tiffany, you mentioned when you did keto before, you only walk.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You're only walking. Now, it seems like you're doing 5 to 6 times strength training. You're doing really intense workouts.
Yes.
And it might affect your performance. Low carb might affect your performance on the long term.
Right.
So if you're comfortable with just introducing those little amounts of fiber, and I'm talking maybe a bit of oat in the morning, introducing maybe some fruits, some sweet potatoes, some quinoa, just a little bit amount. It doesn't have to be much.
Yes.
Then I could create the meal plan with a reduction in your calories.
Yes.
So this will help you with the amount of exercise that you do to lose weight, because if you don't consume enough carbs as well, you might lose your muscle mass.
True. I read
Right?
that.
So you want to make sure you eat enough protein, you eat enough carbs. So when you lose weight, you're losing fat. You're not only losing water, right? Water and muscle mass, because that will not also help you. If you lose muscle mass, then you're gonna burn less calories over time.
Exactly.
So you mentioned as well that you're not taking any vitamins, no medication, just...
I'm taking antibiotics because I'm literally just on day 2 of taking them, because I was sick. Me and my daughter were both sick. And then for vitamins, I recently finished, it's a hair vitamin. Hold on, I have the bottle. Let me get it.
Sure.
I finished this Mary Ruth liquid morning multivitamin for hair growth. So this is what I was taking, and it's done. So that's why I'm currently not taking anything yet until I order more.
Definitely. So great. I'm going to start to share with you some resources. We're going to talk about basic nutrition, and then I will mention a little bit what is the process to create and to calculate your calories, and then how to do this caloric deficit, so I can help you in terms of...
Sorry, did I tell you how much I want to lose?
I didn't mention.
Because right now I'm at 165 and I want to go down 20 pounds. So I want to see what I look like then, and then I'll figure out if I'm okay with that weight.
And you actually did mention it was one of the notes that you have a scale. It shows you percentage body fat and your muscle mass. So have you checked when you lost from 172 to 165, what is the changes in the body composition? Did you have those numbers in?
I can literally just step on after this call and send you a screenshot of the percentage, but I haven't checked it. But maybe tomorrow, because this is my first meal. I just had this, so I want you to have the real results. So I'll do it in the morning tomorrow.
So always make sure you take the weight and all those numbers on this in the same conditions, right? In the morning, after using the bathroom, no clothes on. Of course, don't weigh yourself around your period time because your weight's gonna go up from 2 kilos during period time. So don't weigh yourself.
I'm literally ending it right now. My cycle is done, should be done tomorrow.
Okay.
So it's good that you said that.
So wait a couple of days before you weigh yourself in again.
Cool.
All right. So let me open here. I'm going to share my screen. So have you seen this before, Tiffany?
Let me see. So half protein, 25%. No, I haven't seen this.
So, excuse me, this is based on Canada's food guide. So you're probably familiar with different food groups, right? We have our proteins, our carbohydrates, vegetables, we have our fruits, dairy products, and fat. And each food group is really important and essential to our body. So, for example, protein are packed with vitamins and minerals, and they are important to maintain muscle mass.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens after the age of 30, and it accelerates more after the age of 40, especially for women, we start losing muscle mass and we start building up more fat. So the good news is that we can slow down this muscle mass loss and we can reverse it altogether by making sure we do two things. We eat enough protein, but also we add strength training to our workout. And this is something that you're already doing perfectly 5 to 6 times a week. This is great because usually adults and especially women overlook that.
Yes.
They don't give it much importance. But now there is a strong recommendation that we need to add strength training. Mm-hmm. The other food group that is important is our carbohydrate. Again, we have this misconception because of the noise and the information out there that we need to fear carbohydrate, we need to stay away from carbohydrate. And I agree, we need to reduce added sugar, simple sugar, refined grains. Usually to maintain our needs per day on a daily basis from vitamin D, we can take 1,000 international units, which is one pill over the counter, just to make sure we maintain this need. But if someone is deficient in vitamin D, the doctor will prescribe another kind of treatment. My question for you, Tiffany, when was the last time you've done any blood tests?
Blood test. The last time I did a blood test was, I think, during COVID. We did a blood test together. Blood test before that, I found out that I was low in iron with my family doctor. But since then, the last time I got the results, I was fine. So I want to say the iron is good.
No.
Another fact is that in my family, diabetes is a thing. And also dementia is also a thing as well for the men in my family. So I do take my health very seriously. So I want to make sure that I'm putting the right foods into my body because the diabetes is very scary. And it's a lot of the women in the family where it gets so bad that sometimes my aunts, they lost their feet. So it's really serious for me to take my health serious.
Definitely, when it comes to those things, losing a limb or anything, it's usually the result of uncontrolled diabetes, right? Mm-hmm. So, but now you have the awareness. I can give you the right tips and the right guidance just to make sure. If you need any vitamin D now, without the testing, you could just take 1,000 international and just to make sure you're getting your optimal needs, because vitamin D is not only involved in bone density and bone strength. Mm-hmm. Now it has more functions. If we want to talk about calcium, is also involved in maintaining bone density and bone strength, and eat a diet where you are relying most of the times on those saturated fat and those other fats, right? So we need to reduce saturated fat, but at the same time, we need to include more of those healthy fats. Your unsaturated fatty acids, monounsaturated, polyunsaturated fatty acids, for example, avocado, olive oil, nut butter, nuts and seeds, and fish and seafood. And the most important healthy fat I want to talk about is omega-3. And omega, if we don't consume fish and seafood twice per week, or because for any reason, or we're not consistent with the frequency of consumption, then supplementation in that case might be necessary. And why omega-3 is important? Omega-3, it has anti-inflammatory properties. Omega-3 can help protect our heart, and it can protect as well our brain. So this is why it's important to keep it also as an optimal level. So, Stephanie, each food group is really important, is really essential. And if we decide to eliminate a food group, then we are putting ourselves at a higher risk to become deficient in any vitamin, mineral, micro, or macronutrient. This is why the recommendations are to eat all those food groups in a balanced way. This is why you have this plate model. So every time you want to have breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you want to imagine that plate. To get all your needs in, half of your plate should be coming from your vegetables, 25% of that plate should be coming from your lean proteins, so fish, seafood, plant-based proteins, and then chicken, and then sweet potatoes, whole grain bread, oats, legumes. And you notice legumes are a great source of protein and of fiber at the same time.
That sounds good.
All right, very good. So next I'm going to share with you this resource, and this is how to read a food label. Specifically, we're going to talk about carbohydrate, and you're going to hear me mention the word serving of carbohydrate a lot during today's session and when we plan our meal plan session as well. And you will see that in your meal plan, when I create the meal plan, I will suggest a target range for your carbohydrate. So it's going to be, for example, 3 to 4 servings of carbohydrate per day, equally distributed between breakfast, lunch, and dinner, to stay between 1 to 2 serving per meal. And you want to understand, so what do I mean by serving of carbohydrate? So let me explain here further. So let's establish first that 1 serving of carbohydrate is equivalent to half a cup of cooked rice, or half a cup of cooked quinoa, or half a cup of cooked starchy vegetables, let's say your potatoes, or half a cup of cooked pasta, or 1 palm size of a piece of toast. So sometimes you find in store large pieces of toast, right? So those large pieces, they have 2 serving size. But 1 serving of carbs is just the palm size.
The palm of your hand.
And we're going to establish as well that in each serving of carbohydrate, there's between 15 to 20 grams of carbs. So I'm going to explain further. This is the nutrition fact of a brand of bread. And the serving size of this bread is 2 slices. And in these 2 slices, there's a total carbohydrate of 30 grams. Before deciding how many serving of carbohydrate there is in those 2 slices, we will deduct 4 grams of the dietary fiber from the 30 grams. Why? Because fiber is not digested nor absorbed in the stomach. It goes to the colon, gets fermented there, and exits the body. So we will not include it in our calculations. We want the net carbs. So we remove the 4 grams from the 30 grams, and we're left with 26 grams. If we compare this number to the established range, we could say that in those 2 slices of bread, there's between 1 to 1.5 servings of carbohydrate. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
Very often in the stores, you will see that some of those breads, because the slices are large, they have a total carbohydrate of 50 or 60 grams, which is almost equivalent to 3 or 4 servings of carbohydrate, which is above the recommended range. So what do we do in that case? We just consume half of the serving size. So instead of having 2 slices, we could have 1 slice. So it's really about portion control, right? It doesn't mean I don't want to have bread at all at any point in my life. It's just that understanding how much carbs there is, understanding portion sizes, and just choosing the portion size that is between 1 to 2 serving. Of course, in the meal plan, you're not going to be doing any of these calculations. I will be writing down for you, for example, 1 slice or 2 slices of this particular toast, and I will link a certain brand for you. I will write down 1 tablespoon of flax seeds, 1/4 of a cup of mixed nuts, half a cup of cooked sweet potatoes. So everything will be written down for you. But why this resource is useful? Because let's say you go to the store, you want to pick up some whole grain crackers or a whole grain wrap, and you want to understand. So how many crackers would you have, right? You do this quick calculation, this simple calculation, and you understand how many serving of carbohydrate there is in the crackers, and you choose according to the meal plan. Maybe 10 crackers or 15 crackers, right? Or 20 crackers.
Yeah.
So portion control, this is what it is. So talking about portion sizes, I'm going to show you here next the standard serving sizes of each food group. So what is a standard 1 serving size from each food group? For example, the carbohydrate, I already mentioned those. Now you have more of a visual. So again, 1 serving size, 1 slice, which is the palm size. This is equivalent to 1 serving of carb. Half a bagel is considered 1 serving of carb. Half a cup of cooked rice, cooked starchy vegetables, cooked pasta, which is almost half of the fist. This is just 1 serving size. For the protein, 1 full hand. Of course, it depends how thin or thick is the beef. But let's say it's a standard 100-gram cooked chicken, cooked salmon, and cooked beef.
Yes.
This is considered 1 serving size. For the vegetables, half a cup is a serving size of your cooked vegetables, whereas 1 full cup is a serving size for your raw vegetables. And remember, we need to reach 3 servings of vegetables per day, at least. For the fruit, I would say you want to keep it at 2 servings per day, and 1 serving is equivalent, let's say, to 1 piece of fruit. Let's say 1 apple, 1 orange, 1 pear, or half a cup of blueberries, raspberries, or any cut fruit. For the nuts and seeds, 1/4 of a cup, which is almost like a handful of mixed unsalted nuts and seeds. This is 1 serving size. 2 thumbs is a serving size for your nuts.
Sorry about that.
No problem. And remember, I mentioned that legumes are a great source of protein and of carb at the same time. I'm going to send you all of those resources after this session.
Thank you.
So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to open your 3-day food log that you shared with me. And we're going to go over your food intake. I want to have an idea about your eating pattern, your meals, just to see where we can. And then at 6, you have a salad with a chicken. So if you want to compare it to your whole hands, right? How much a chicken would you add to the meal?
Basically, I'll get one of those whole chickens and after do slices of that. Just a little bit. So basically a small portion of it because I'm honestly over chicken. I'm tired of eating chicken. And for this week, 2 days this week, I had salmon. So it was a long salmon like this and I cut it in 2 and then that was 2 days worth of salmon. And I had that with a salad. When I say a salad, I just go to Sobeys and they have the pre-made salad that comes to about 340 calories. So I grabbed 5 of those because I don't have time to make salad.
And what does it come with? What does the salad come with?
Actually, I have one.
To make it 340 calories. They're the dressings, probably. But what else?
Oh, because I know this one has chickpeas in it. It's 300. So it has roasted garlic, red wine dressing that goes on top. I'm not sure what the white cheeses are, but it comes with chickpeas, lettuce, tomato, and that's pretty much it. So I grabbed 4 of these this week, and that's the salad I was eating all week.
All right. And then for dinner, you mentioned protein shake. So what do you usually put in that protein shake?
Water and protein. That's it.
And then later on, a 10 Greek yogurt, right?
Yes.
So just the yogurt.
Nothing else with it. Honestly, because this week has been hectic, but sometimes I'll put stuff on it, like fruit, and I have chia seeds as well. But this week it has been just put a put it in a cup and eat it. That's all my week has been.
So day 2, breakfast, so you had, so not breakfast, at 3, so the same thing, eggs and bacon. Is it the same portion size as well? So 2 eggs and 2 strips of bacon,
Yes.
Was it the same thing?
Yeah.
And then at 6, you had a protein shake and you had the salad and tuna, so 2 things, right?
Yes.
And how do you know the portion sizes of the tuna? Was it
Full can of tuna.
the small ones?
I think it's called Rio tuna in the olive oil. I
Okay.
just put it in the salad and I eat it.
Oh, and what the
Same salad.
Okay. And then the keto pizza. So what was it made of? The
So-
keto pizza?
I get the keto wraps. I really love them. I finished them last night. But it's like a little keto wrap. And then I put tomato sauce. I spread it on. Then I put mozzarella. And then I'll put, I think it's like a salami. The ones that you get during Christmas time. The thin
Yeah.
slice. I'll put 1 or 2 on top of it. Then put it on the stove for a little bit. And then it's done. It's fast. So that's why I like it.
Okay. Have any keto wraps left overs just to see, or what is the brand just to see the
This is the keto one.
Oh.
So this one is 90
Can you-
calories.
Can you read how much carbs and fiber in it?
So carbohydrates is 22 grams. Fiber is 20 grams.
So it's very high. So you see here, this is the small calculations we did. So 22 carbs, we removed 20 grams of fiber, and then you're left with 2, which is not even a serving of carbs.
Yeah.
You cannot consider this a carb, but it has fiber, which is good, right?
Yeah.
We need the fiber in. Very good. And how many do you have? So when you say
1.
keto pizza, how many? Just
1.
Right. And then later on, you had a cheese string. How much?
Just 1 or 2. They're 90 calories each.
All right. So that's day 2, and then ginger tea later on, and then day 3, protein shake. So the same protein shake, just water and tea. And then at 4, egg and bacon. Is it also the same portion size?
Yes.
2 eggs, 2 bacon. Okay. Salad and salmon. So that's the salmon you were mentioning, like you got and you cut it in 2.
Yes.
And then the salad is the same one that you had day 1, day 2.
Yes.
Green tea, bubble tea at 9 with 2 cheese strings. And then later on at 11, a Greek yogurt.
Yes.
Okay. So basically you're like on day 1, you're getting a bit of
Fiber.
fiber, I would say, just a little bit in your chickpea, and then on day 2 when you got this wrap. So I wouldn't say you're 0 carbs, because you still get a little bit, this is not carb, but a little bit of sugar coming from your yogurt, right? So, but I would say definitely we could add more fiber.
Yes.
Right? So not, again, it's not the carb, like the added sugar and the refined grains, just the fiber in terms of giving you a little bit more nutrients. And I'm happy that you're including some cheese, some Greek yogurt, so you don't miss on your calcium as well, because it is really important to keep the calcium. But I would say we could include more vegetables. So you're adding salads only for your lunch, right?
Yes.
But even when you have eggs, you could add some vegetables with it. So when you have also your dinner, you could add some vegetables with it, right? So just vegetables at each meal. So imagine this plate again, right? So half of your plate coming from your vegetables. And then we could improve a bit on the fruit intake. So probably 1 or 2 servings per day. So I know this is because it's part of the keto. This is why you're not adding the sugar. But if you'd like to make this kind of diet more sustainable, right, then you might want to consider doing those slight changes. So this is what would be the main theme if we want to create the meal plan together. I would say just add those nutrients that will give you a bit more vitamins, so you don't really be, any deficiency of vitamins. Just provide you with the right nutrients and fiber.
Okay.
What do you say, Tiffany?
Well, first off, I feel like you started it off with me getting checked on my blood test. I did get a new family doctor, so I'm excited to meet her. I have an appointment with her, so I'll put it on my list to get my blood test, so I know what I'm deficient in. And then I love that we're gonna add some more fiber. My only question is based on the goal weight that I want to be at, how many calories per day would I be eating? Am I tracking all that?
So definitely, because I did the calculations before, and your total. So what I usually do, I take your age, your weight, your height, and I calculate what we call your resting metabolic rate. So how many calories your body needs at rest without any workout. And then I factor in your physical activity level, so the workout that you do during the day, and I calculate what we call your total energy expenditure. So how many calories your body needs just to maintain your weight. Because your goal is to lose weight, I create a caloric deficit between 500 to 1,000 calories per day. So according to my calculations, you should be somewhere between 1,500 to 1,700 calories per day in terms of the total amount of calories. This is according to my calculations, but this is why we go through your 3-day food log, because I want to understand right now how many calories you're eating.
Right.
Which is not more than, I would say, 1,000.
It's not more than 1,000. It isn't.
Not more than that. How many calories are you eating?
And I track it on the app, about 700-800.
Wow.
It's my only concern, like I said, was that I can't do this long term because then I'll lose the curves, and that's what I want to maintain as well. I want to slim down, but then keep the hips, the butt. I want to keep it curvy, not flat.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Definitely. So to be able to do that, you want to keep food in, a little bit more food in, because what happens is that because you're doing the strength training workout and all that, you want to fuel this muscle. You want to keep those muscles. You want to keep the glycogen in. You want to keep the protein in. So in the muscles, it's not only protein that will help fuel and grow these muscles. You have glycogen, which is how glucose is stored in the body into glycogen. So the muscle has glycogen as well. So you don't want to only give it protein. You want to also give it some glucose. Not too much, in the proper amount that will also help you lose weight. So this is why I will need to give you this amount of calories that is, of course, not more than 1,500, but somewhere in between what you're eating right now, so you can still feel this weight loss happening.
Yes, that's important.
Sure. So, Tiffany, I have a question for you regarding how, for example, what is the exact goal that you'd like to see after, let's say, a month? Is there something specific that you want to see?
Well, I'm 165 right now. I would love to see the 150s again. It's been a while since I've been there. So I would like to be down to 150 in the next month.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. And that's a good goal. This is a great start. And there's something else that you'd like to focus on?
Oh, what was it? Photos. I do have a photo of what made me more concerned about being serious. I took a screenshot and my BMI was high, as in obese. We're in when it talks about body fat. I think it was 33. So I want to lower the BMI. I wish I had it on me.
No problem. It's a quick calculation that I can do and I can see. So just because you mentioned that it's been a while since you were at 150. So when was this time where you were at your goal?
My goal weight was at, I think during COVID was my goal weight, but it's crazy. The weirdest part is that my goal body is right now in terms of shape, because I did, I think not this year, but the year before, I had a procedure done where it created pretty much, they contoured my stomach and they added fat to the hips. So that's why I have my dream body now, but when it comes to me, the weight, when you have surgery, they don't talk about the fact that you need to still maintain your results with tracking, you know, what your intake is, because it's very quick for you to gain weight, right? So then that's why when I say that I want to keep the curves, because I actually paid to have the body shape that I never had before. But my weight back then, and I love the way my face looked. There was more structure in terms of my jawline and everything. So I know that if I get to the 50s, I'll get to how my face looks as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the overall body fat, because another struggle is back fat. For me, myself, I have probably a line, and even when I went for surgery and I got the fat removed from there, the surgeon told me that my body type is where that specific spot is where fat does store, so it might come back again. So he told me in advance that I regularly carry more fat upper body. So that's why I started doing strength training. I started doing Lagree. Lagree is amazing for my upper body strength. So I've seen progress, but it's just the back part. I know it's just because I have a high BMI. So
I got you. I got the picture. Right. So would you like to move ahead and book a mid-plan session?
Of course.
Tiffany, for next week?
Yes.
Yeah, next time.
okay.
All right. It was nice meeting you, Tiffany. Use the same Zoom link to access the session next week.
Okay.